Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to another cricketing edition of the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And in this Cricket Happenings, yes, definitely we are going to have a look at the cricket news as there are no matches being played. But I would like to start off with another retirement coming in from New Zealand. Yesterday I spoke to you about Daniel Vettori, and today there was one more retirement that came, and that was also probably not very expected. But I mean, many people might not. I know that Kyle Mills is a very popular figure, but Kyle Mills, as you know, has decided that he is also retiring. So he has also hung up his boots at the age of 36. Kyle Mills has announced his retirement. Now, Kyle Mills, as you know, was the, I mean, he was not the prime strike bowler or anything of the sort. He was just a sort of a, he's a good pace bowler, but I would say it was a very quiet career for him. If you look at his, basically because of his, the problem being that because of his injury, he couldn't really play a lot of test matches. But one good thing that he did while living here is the second highest as far as the wickets tally is concerned for New Zealand in one-day international cricket. So that is a proud record that he's carrying with him. And if you look at Kyle Mills' record, he played 170 one-day internationals and he had 240 wickets. Now, one-day international was his forte, in the sense he was very good in one-day international because he was picking up the wickets, he could keep the runs down. We have seen that, and that's what he was always. So basically, he was more of a one-day specialist bowler. And as far as test matches are concerned, if you see, injury has really played a part, no doubt about that. Because one would probably feel that Kyle Mills has been there for a long time in New Zealand cricket, and why he has only played 19 tests. Yes, gentlemen, he has only played 19 tests, but look at his wickets. He has taken 44 wickets. So I think that is not a very good strike, a very good rate one could say, but a decent rate I would say. And he also played 42 2020 internationals, and he took 43 wickets. Now, as I said, Kyle Mills had a very a checkered career, I would say. One is injury. He was not in some good form sometime. The only thing, if you really, the first time when Kyle Mills played, that was way back in the in Sharjah, when he was inducted into the team in a one-day international in Sharjah back in 2001. And as I said, he was more of a specialist one-day bowler than a test bowler. Basically, he has been a very good one-day player. That is what it's all about. Kyle Mills, as I said, very quiet career, not really much to talk about. But one good thing that he did, he was basically a good bowler in the one-day format, as you all know, and also he could be termed as an all-rounder because he had the ability. Didn't do much of note, but at times we have seen that he could use the long handle to good effect by depositing the ball over the boundary. He has done that, but he has not played any significant part as far as New Zealand's success is concerned. That is for sure. But as I said, he had a quiet career. One was injury was something which had really bedeviled him, and finally the career of Kyle Mills comes to an end. He has also retired. So two players from New Zealand have retired after this World Cup: Kyle Mills and Dan Vettori. And Kyle Mills, let me tell you, he has been a part of three. He has been part of the New Zealand team in 3 World Cups. So that really tells you, as you know, New Zealand have had a very good record in World Cups. They have come to the semi-final, and this was the first time in a World Cup that they reached the final by making history. So, well, Kyle Mills. So that's the end of Kyle Mills as far as international cricket is concerned. Right from here on, let's have a look at some cricket news. We all know that the ICC president, as you know, Mustafa Kamal, is from Bangladesh, and he has really, one does not know what was going on, but he has decided that he wouldn't be any longer the ICC president, and he has decided to resign his post as the ICC president, and that is something. And he has also said that he is going to say a lot about the ICC. One does not know what, but probably one does not know whether this was in connection to that match between Bangladesh and India when the quarter-final, where actually India entered the semi-finals, and there was a sort of a talk going on whether, I mean, there was as you know, Rohit Sharma was not given out, and the umpire said that it is a no ball, and which the Bangladesh have not taken easily to it. One can understand that, but probably one does not know whether that was the reason that Mustafa Kamal has decided to quit his post as ICC president. Well, so that is the news coming in from the ICC. And other than that, the Indian Premier League is about to begin on April 8, and Mitchell Starc, who has been making the headlines, who was also the man of the match. Well, he was the man of the series, I suppose, Mitchell Starc. So Mitchell Starc would be missing the earlier part of the IPL 2015. And another news that is coming in from Pakistan is that Mohammad Hafiz, who didn't take part in this World Cup because his bowling action is still under the microscope, and I'm told that his action is going to be tested officially on 9th April. And another news that comes up is Cheteshwar Pujara. Now actually the English county cricket scene is going to be in full bloom, no doubt about it, as this is their season now. And Yunis Khan was supposed to play for Yorkshire. Since Yunis Khan has pulled out, the contract has been presented pretty quickly by Yorkshire. As Yorkshire, Martin Moxon is the chief person there, the former player. He decided that he's going to give the contract to India's Cheteshwar Pujara, who last summer, one remembers that he played for a different county. I thought it was Derbyshire, if my memory serves me right. And now Cheteshwar Pujara is being signed up by Yorkshire. As far as other news are concerned, well, there is one thing that this is a news that you might all know, that Graves actually has suggested from the MCC that it's probably better to have 4-day test matches. Now I don't know how that would go with everybody, because the 5-day test matches are definitely producing results. As you know, there was a theory that was floating around saying that the test matches are dying, and besides, the crowds are not coming, so the gate receipts are getting pretty less as far as the respective cricket boards are concerned. Now that theory has already been quashed, according to me, by the recent test matches that have been played, and we have seen some wonderful results there. So I don't know whether how that goes, but Graves has actually suggested that 4-day test matches is something that he wants to move the idea of 4-day test matches. Now I think it's better to have the 5-day test matches, but he's also having certain other plans. He was telling that probably the bowling, as you know, nowadays they bowl 90 overs in a day. They say that what Graves has suggested, he has suggested that they could actually increase the overs to 105 overs. And nowadays, as you know, all the normally during our days, when the match used to be stopped due to bad light, play was stopped, and if it's finishing at 5 or 5:30 in whichever country it may be, or 6 o'clock as the case may be, they decided if the light was bad, the umpires used to call off play. But what Graves suggests, that is a valid suggestion according to me. What Graves is suggesting here, he's suggesting that since every country now has floodlight facilities, why not carry on the match? I mean, as I said, 105 overs in a day, and why not carry the match further with lights on? And I don't know whether that is the right way to go, because there is a difference between a natural light in which you play and lights which are coming on, like a floodlight match. So I don't know how this theory would be accepted, but definitely he has decided to moot an idea of such a sort. That is coming in from Graves. Now if you don't know who Graves is, I'm just going to tell you who Graves is. Graves is from the MCC. This is the news coming in from England. It actually originated yesterday. It was Graves is actually he is the incoming English Cricket Board chairman, Mr. Colin Graves. So he is the one who has actually mooted the possibility of 4-day test matches. One does not know how well this would go with everybody, but that is what it is. This is Colin Graves who has actually mooted this idea of 4-day test matches. Now, other than that, dear fans, as I said, he wanted to have 105 overs. That's what he actually proposed. So one has to wait and watch whether that really goes through. But for me, as of now, I think test matches are definitely giving results. That theory has been proved wrong now. We saw a lot of victories, a lot of results. We saw India, Australia, Pakistan, in the United Arab Emirates with Australia and New Zealand. So I think that theory, according to me, really doesn't hold water as of now, I would say. But what crowds are interested basically is the slam bang version. That is the T20 version. The T20 version is something that the crowds are very much interested. Now that is something that I think the ICC has to think seriously on. Probably get the associates, because 2020 is a different version of the game. I would say that start bringing the associate nations into the fold and start getting them matches, have some short tours for the associate nations where they tour certain countries and play a series of T20 matches, because that will really test any opposition, because it's not your a 50-over game where you can bide your time. T20s are something pretty different, and I think that would also give the associate nations some encouragement, and I think that is something that ICC could really seriously look at. This is a suggestion from my side, that associate nations who have been given I would say they have not been given much preference, as you know, in the forthcoming World Cup. There are only going to be 10 teams in 2019. So I think why not encourage the associate nations to undertake tours of some countries and basically allow them to have exchanges whereby they play 5 T20 matches with the team and see how they are tested, because T20s are something different, and that is something which is going to be what the crowds are wanting. The crowds are wanting to get more excitement, more razzmatazz, and they also want more strokes to be played. Well, for that, I think the future is definitely T20, no doubt about it, because people don't have the time to really sit down there and watch the whole match. One can understand that. Well, for me, it doesn't matter, because I'm such a player, I would say, even though I'm not physically a player, but I'm a player who would like to. I don't have a problem. I can watch the match the entire day. I can just start right from the morning, and I can go up till close of play without missing a single ball. I'm such a type of person. Such is my passion for the cricket, for this fantastic game of cricket, and I can do that endlessly. So that's not a problem for me. But I'm sure the crowds would have a problem. Nobody would like to watch ball by ball right from day one. I mean, nobody would like to go with the ball by ball details, right? So I can understand that. But I think T20 is definitely the version of the game, and that is something the ICC needs to really encourage. And I think associate nations should be given some leeway on this T20, even though they are going to be having a tough time. As you know, they have to really fight it out if at all they have to see themselves in the next World Cup. So I think T20s are the future. That's what I would say. And also, one topic was coming up. This is something which was discussed by the Cricinfo, I think, group. It was some reputed cricket players, like former cricket player and commentators, I would say, Ian Chappell, West Indian Michael Holding, Rahul Dravid. They were the ones who were discussing this aspect of the batters heavy on the ball. This I have already told in my cricket happening, so probably any of those people who have not really gone on to it could probably dig into my cricket happenings. I mean, I know I have amassed a lot of videos, like a video library. You could go to that particular video and see, because I definitely said, like, the pen is mightier than the sword in one-day internationals. In one-day internationals in T20s, one definitely feels that the bat is mightier than the ball, because there are a lot of runs scored, a lot of records broken, certain things that have never happened has happened, like we saw in this one-day international in this World Cup, where Gale went on to become the first person in the annals of World Cup history to score a double century. Martin Guptill went one better than that by scoring 237 not out. So you know the runs are just cascading from the blade, and even the edges are probably carrying for sixes. And this is what Ian Chappell, Rahul Dravid and Michael Holding were discussing, and I thought it was a very, very important topic that they discussed. I think definitely I'm always in for that they have to reduce the width of the bat, or probably have a sort of only standard bats can be taken, because what it does is it gives an unfair advantage to the batsman, and batsmen are always at an advantage, whether it is one-day international T20 with the power play overs coming up. They can really rack up a lot of shots, and I also feel that instead of having a restriction on the number of overs being bowled by a single bowler, I would say that the one-day international should be thrown bare open, whereby allow the captain there should not be any limited quota of overs. I think the ball should be given, and whichever bowler is bowling well, tell him to go the whole hog, and even so that would make the competition very ripe, because as I said, the bat is absolutely mightier than the ball now. So I think the bowlers have to be given more powers now, so that you can say, for example, one of the bowlers is actually the spinner, or maybe the pace bowler is really, or the main strike bowler is really bowling pretty well, then why not give him a chance? I mean, we don't need this limited quota of overs. Any person who is bowling well, give him more overs, probably not 10, probably 15 or 20 overs, so that would be a real test, according to me, of the real test between the bat and the ball. I don't know, dear friends, subscribers, whether you all agree with it or not. Whatever I mean, you're always free to. It's a free forum as far as cricket happenings are concerned. So I would like you all to come up with your views, your suggestions, or what you feel about what I discussed today. Well, this is just an opportunity that I'm getting, because there are no matches being played. So I thought, why don't I fill up the space here on YouTube broadcast? Well, dear fans, subscribers, I hope you all enjoyed my cricket broadcast as usual. Thanks for your company, and thanks for your cooperation on this cricket show. Your host Ram will like to take leave today, but promising you that you will be seeing me tomorrow once again. Until then, it's good night from your host Ram Studios. Thank you.